Welcome in, everyone, to this episode of Girl, How'd You Get That Gig? For my co-host, Celeste Gehring, I'm Amy G. And if you love the Olympics, well, you're going to love our guest. It is swimmer and six-time Olympic gold medalist, Amy Van Dyken. And she's gone from the pool to the booth, where she now serves as an analyst for the Olympics. And she's one of the most accomplished people we've ever had on this podcast. And she's also a great storyteller. Welcome, Amy Van Dyken.
Okay, so Amy, let's just start with your name. Is awesome. I mean, just throw that in there.
Right? I mean, only Amy's are the coolest people ever.
I mean, they're kind of cool. Yeah.
Right.
Celeste is cool too, but Amy's.
Let's just start at the beginning, Amy.
All right.
Okay. All right.
When kids are young, they're always asked, what do they want to be when they grow up? What did you want to be?
Okay, so this is going to sound funny. I wanted to be a veterinarian, but I couldn't do that because I have such bad allergies and asthma. So then after that, I either wanted to be an actress or I wanted to read the news. Here we are.
It's what Amy's grew up wanting to do. Read the
Is that
news.
what you wanted to do too?
Oh, yeah. That's my whole, like, Barbara Walters was my idol. I just,
Yeah,
all of it. I loved
She was
all of it.
wonderful. Oh yeah.
You know, yeah.
I
So-
loved her.
That is really interesting that you suffer from allergies and asthma and went on to become a ridiculously accomplished Olympic athlete. Was that an issue to have to overcome that?
It was. So I was diagnosed at 18 months old, which is very early for
Oh,
being diagnosed with asthma. I was diagnosed with severe asthma in all three types. So we've got infection induced, which I have right now, so I'm having a hard time breathing. Also, we have allergy induced and exercise induced. One of the things that people don't know about me is not only do I have exercise induced asthma and I'm severe in all three of those types, but I'm also allergic to chlorine.
What?
So I would say throw your child in the water and make them a swimmer because that makes total sense.
Mhm.
I don't know. Yeah, I know. It was right. It was like my mom could either put me in soccer or swimming. I was going to do something. I wanted to be with my friends. And she's like, well, soccer's not good for you because you're going to be out there in the grass and the weeds and the things and the running, but swimming is easier on you. Right. So I got into swimming and it's funny, you guys, I started when I was 6. I didn't finish my first 25-yard length of the pool until I was 11.
Wow.
What?
Yeah. So
Years to build up your lung strength, huh?
years. And it was funny because people were like, why didn't you quit? And like, that was the first time that I was with my friends, right? I wasn't the fastest swimmer, not even by a long shot, but I was buying my Speedos. I was eating the Jello. I was sitting under the tent, doing the cheers. Like I was a swimmer. And then it just so happened, I just kept going and getting better. And then now here we are.
Yeah, you got pretty good.
Yeah, it was okay.
Will you go into that a little bit more and describe what that is like? You know, we see it all the time, Olympic athletes, young athletes missing prom and different things that they have to sacrifice because of the commitment they've made to this sport and the level that they're playing at. So how do you describe growing up as a swimmer with all this potential? What was life like for you?
Well, my parents tried to keep it normal. They tried to keep it cool and letting me hang out with my friends still. But it's tough. I mean, you don't get to go out on Friday night because you've got Saturday morning practice. Saturday night, you may go out with your friends, but you also may not because you might be too tired from that practice and you have to rest up. Recovery day is on Sunday. All you want to do is just sit there and eat and watch football. That's all you want to do. No wonder I married a football player. But, like that's your life. And yeah, you miss out on the dances and you miss out on all of this. And I can say from where I'm sitting that it was worth it. But then again, I wonder, would it have been worth it if I didn't do the things that I wanted to? I'm not saying win gold medals. I'm saying do what I wanted to do, right? Because yes, a gold medal is the end all be all goal, but let's be honest, one person's going to walk away with that. So, the goal should be doing your best. If you can go a best time at the Olympic Games, like that's huge. So that's just what I tell kids, right? Like just, I guess not focus on the now, focus on like your goal. And if you don't reach your goal, are you still going to be happy with that decision that you just made? So it's kind of something to think about, and it's hard when you're 14, 15, 16 and you know, you have no idea what the world has to offer. And you're just this little nugget. And everyone's like, but you have to make your own decision. And they're like, but I can't. So, you know, I do think that parental guidance is great for that. But I also think kids have to keep it within themselves, because parents do tend to kind of helicopter on kids. And I'm not a fan of that either. So yeah, I say, let them make their own decisions. Would you be happy with it if it doesn't turn out how you want it to?
Right.
I love that.
I know, and we're in the middle of that with our daughter. She's 16, plays volleyball. She's good,
It's really
and
good.
she's trying to decide, does she want to play collegiate? And then she heard about the amount of work that goes into sending emails to coaches, and you know, her head coach of her club team was like 100 to 200 emails a month. You got to send clips, like you got to put yourself out there. So she's like,
Right.
I think I'm good.
Yeah, I know it's a lot of work. And it's like I said, these are 14-year-old kids, and they're having to write these adults these letters about why they think they're good enough to join their school. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so hard.
Yeah. And the coach that she has was adamant that the child has to write the letter. If he gets what he knows, if he gets one from a parent, and he throws it away, because he's like, I'm not going to coach the parent. I'm going to coach the kid. So, you know, I looked at her and I go, you know, I'll do anything I can to help you, but I can't write the letters for you. I can't decide where you want them to go. And so, you know, she's right in the middle of that right now. And it's hard to watch as a parent when you know they have the potential, but also they want to live their life the way they want to live it. So,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
I get
bless
it.
her heart. Well, sending positive vibes.
Right. Yeah. She'll be fine.
Oh yeah. Oh, kids are resilient. They're like those rubber balls. They just bounce all over the place.
Yes.
Yeah. They're
Yes.
fine.
Yes.
Amy, how old were you when you were first told you could be an Olympian?
I was a senior in high school, and I had just qualified for the Olympic trials in 1992. And that's when I was like, holy crap, this could actually happen for me. But until that point, I was little asthmatic Amy, couldn't really do anything. She wasn't the greatest swimmer. Oh, let's just take care of her. She's so tall and skinny. We wish we could have that back. But anyway, you know,
I remember those
I was always
days.
that kid, and I never really thought, like, I knew I was getting better, but I was just always that kid that was taken care of by the bigger kids. And now I'm faster than the bigger kids. So that was when I realized, when the bigger kids started not liking me, that's when I realized I was going to be an Olympian, right in that moment, because jealousy is a nasty lady.
Oh, she is.
She is.
But it's also a great motivator, you know, because you
Girl.
knew.
If I did not listen, if I were not bullied the way that I was in high school, and it was before my senior year, if I was not bullied the way that I would not be who I am, and I would not be where I am. It was such a driving force to be able to, at the end of the day, if I happened to be in the mall or wherever and see one of these yeehaws that made my life so miserable, to be able to say, oh, I just won 6 Olympic gold medals. What are you doing?
What are you up to?
Right. And then just let that go. Payback.
Yeah. What do you attest that to, you know, what in the short time I'm getting to know you, it was a lot of adversity as growing up in your world and dealing with, you know, your asthma and your allergies, getting bullied, all of that. Where did you find the ability to not quit? Where does that resiliency come from?
I don't think I had a choice, you know? So another thing that happened, I had a brother who was my best friend, passed away 5 days after my 5th birthday.
Oh.
And I felt from that moment on, we're getting into therapizing here. I always felt from that moment on that I was the child that now had to go and do the things that my parents wanted me to do. I had to accomplish the things that Donnie was going to do because he's not here to do it, and I have to now do it. Is that right or wrong? Don't know, but that's what it was. And it was always one of those things where when I started to be made fun of, and I tell this in my speech all the time, you know, and this is a true thing. I got picked to be on the state winning relay when I was a, you know, freshman in high school, and I was terrible. I hadn't swum in a meet, and I was doing the whole, you know, saying your prayers, please don't let me screw up. And if I don't, I won't beat up my sister, you know, those things. And the other 3 girls walked in front of me. And I say this in my speech, and I am not lying. They were like, how in the hell did Van Dyken get on a relay? Like, she is so awful. This is a joke. Why are they doing that to me? You know, and all this. And they walked away, and I had all the feelings, right? The sad, the angry, the whatever. And then I thought to myself, whoa, like, who are you to tell me what I can and can't do? You don't know me. I see you for 2 hours a day and you don't even talk to me. You don't know who I am,
Mhm.
and that was kind of also the driving force, was to prove everyone wrong.
Mhm.
I'm
Mhm.
not supposed to be an athlete with exercise-induced asthma as bad as I had it. I was breathing at 62% of normal at the Olympics, which is a
Wow.
lot of people don't realize, because I couldn't take the meds that would make me breathe well because they were not on the
They're-
okay list.
Right. Yep.
So I could only take a certain number of meds. And so I was at 63% when I won 6 gold medals. And I wasn't supposed to do it. Allergy induced, allergic chlorine, all this stuff. I'm not supposed to do it, but I'm going to show you that I'm going to do it. So don't tell me that I cannot do it, because I'll do it.
She's like Wonder Woman.
I know, right?
Celeste is like, yeah, unless she's working under you, she's a pain in the booty.
Never. So what is training for an Olympian like?
Girl. All right. So let's go here. My longest race was 59.4 seconds, right? I'm not like Katie Ledecky swimming for 18 minutes. So this is how I trained. 2.5 hours in the morning, did weights for an hour to an hour and a half in the afternoon, 2.5 hours in the pool, 6 days a week, 1 day off a year. I would train anywhere, depending upon where in the season, anywhere from 10,000 meters on up to 16,000 meters a day. And I swam the 50, the 100, 59.4 seconds.
Dang.
That's insane.
Isn't that nuts? It's a lot of time to look at a black line and to really get your stuff together.
Yeah. What were the effects that you had to deal with? Like you're saying at the Olympics, when you win 6, you're at 62, 63% lung capacity, you're allergic to chlorine. What would happen to you? And like, what was the body's reaction when these things would kick in?
So it would never happen during a race because I had my adrenaline was going so much, but it would happen after a race. And it's just that can't get a breath in. Like almost you can see everything coming out. It's almost like this type of breathing. It's a shaking to try to get it in. I have inhalers everywhere, still do, in my wheelchair pocket. It used to be in my swim jacket pocket. But yeah, I have them everywhere because you don't know what's going to happen and you need to be ready. Big attacks did happen at the Olympic Training Center and I had to be pulled out. Paramedics came. It was very dramatic. Too much so for me. So yeah, I mean, I knew I had a job to do. I also knew that I was not breathing great. I had inhalers at every end of the pool. My coach would also carry one, and I still get pulled out by paramedics. So it wasn't great. It took a lot away from my training, but I think it also gave me a little bit more of a push that the next time that I could go to practice, I would be that much better.
Did your training and exercise help your condition at all? Like I know people who deal with cystic fibrosis, exercise is great for them.
Yes.
What was your situation?
I am so different. No. So when I am asthma attack. So when you have someone with cystic fibrosis in the hospital, right, they're working out all the time, trying to get that lung capacity that they do have to continue working, right? My case is that exercise is causing that. So I could not do anything. It's laying in bed. You can't lay flat. You have to sit up because if you lay flat, you cannot breathe. And so you sit up all day, all night, and you just do your nebulizers. You do your mom will do PT, which is when they come and they do postural drainage on your back. So they cup their hands and smack them all on your back and then on your sides and in your front just to get that mucus up and out. But yeah, in that way, it's similar to cystic fibrosis. And the way that they work out when they're not well is very different than mine. And I commend them for that. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah. Oh, you're cute.
Yeah, in London, one of the things you talked about was mindset. And you said you knew if you were going to win before you ever got in the pool. And you told this amazing story, and I can't even do it justice, but it was something like you were in the locker room, you stood up, you did something looking at a swimmer, and in that moment, before you got in the pool and swam the race, you knew you're going to win. Can you tell that story?
Sure. So yeah, it was in the ready room. And we were all sitting there. You have to be there 30 minutes before your race. So if you're a second late, you're disqualified. It's tragic. So everyone's there early. We've all got big shoulders. We're all sitting in a row, rubbing shoulders with each other. I'm about ready to beat the heart and soul out of you for a gold medal, which I know I'm going to win, and you could just go home. But I'm like, why do we have to do this for a half an hour? So I looked at the girl next to me, and she has the world record in the event we're about ready to swim. I thought she might know. So I spun my chair around, and as I went to sit down, I was like, oh crap, I do not speak Chinese. And I knew that she didn't speak English. Now we're about 2 inches apart from each other. And I could be like that kid in school who eats paste, who's like, oh, never mind. But I'm now the cool kid. I'm not the nerd anymore. So I sat there, our knees are 2 inches apart. And for 30 minutes, I just stared at her. So then they called us up to stand up to get into line, right? So we all get in line. I'm staring at her. We all get behind the blocks. We're all doing the potty dance, because we're nervous and we got to shake it out. And I turned and I looked over at her. She looked at me. She closed her eyes and she looked down.
Oh,
I
you beat her
knew in that moment,
right there.
that was my race. I won.
I love that story. I get chills every time you tell it.
And it's so true. It really is. It's like, when you're gonna win. You just
had
know.
her. You had her right here.
Yep.
It's very similar, you guys, to Rocky and Clubber Lang in Rocky 3 when they fight the first
Your
time.
favorite.
It's my favorite. And Mickey's hurt and injured, and that's what's on Rocky's mind. And he doesn't make eye contact. And he's gonna lose. He's gonna lose. You
Yep.
gotta stare back. I mean, I bring out the parallels, Amy. I know what you're talking about.
Okay, we are separated from birth because my dad, if you go back and look, any interview that he gave right after 96 or 2000, they would ask him, like, what was it with Amy that changed her attitude or whatever? He goes, she watched Rocky 4 back when she was in.
I mean,
so here you are with the Clubber Lang. I'm like, what's happening around here?
If yous can change and we's can change, I mean, I should probably.
I got shoes, Mick. I got shoes.
So in 96, Amy, you win 4 Olympic medals. You become the first female to ever do that. How does one go about wrapping their head around being the best in the world?
It is one of the hardest things ever. At least it was for me. I knew that all of a sudden I needed security to go places. I knew my agent and I went to New York to do the Today Show. And there in Times Square is my doggone milk ad, as big as life. And I'm like, oh.
The one with the mustache? Did you?
Yeah. Yeah. So I did mine underwater. It's the only one that was ever done underwater. Annie Leibovitz almost lost her mind on her staff.
Oh, you had Annie as your photographer? That's
Annie
amazing.
is my girl. Annie is my girl. I'm in a couple of her
Legend.
books. She is just, her and I get it because I don't care if she yells and screams. I know she's there to get it perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Do it right, it'll be perfect.
Yeah.
She's amazing. But that's what I had to deal with, right? Like, and then you go to the bars and like all these guys are coming and I'm like, whoa, I'm the nerd that eats paste. What are we talking about here? You know what I mean? So it was really crazy. It was also kind of fun, right? My brother and sister ate it up. They were just, because they're younger than me. They're 6 and 7 years younger than me. So they loved it. They thought it was great.
Is there a race or a gold that was your favorite?
Yeah, the 100 butterfly was my favorite. And the reason that is because that year I was probably not the best butterflyer in the world, definitely not the country. I was asked several times to step away from the race because someone else could do it better than me. And I said, stick that in your pipe and smoke it. I'm going to swim it still. And I won it, and everyone freaked out. Like, I went back to like the coaches and they were like, we don't even know what to say. You weren't supposed to do this.
Don't question me.
Don't tell me to go home.
I love that. Oh my gosh, we are separated at birth. Let's talk a little bit about your education. You attended University of Arizona. Why and what did you major in?
So I attended the University of Arizona because when they take you to a recruiting trip, they take you where you're going to want to go. So I was on fraternity row with all the men with their shirts off, doing beer bongs. I'm like, yes, Arizona.
This looks good.
Right? I'll take that one. So I swam for them. I swam for them for 2 years. Then I transferred to Colorado State. So there my major was communications. Super sick, mono, found out I wasn't probably going to be able to have kids at 19 years old. So I left, I quit swimming, went to Colorado State University, where I was a human development with an emphasis in infancy and childhood and a child psych minor. Basically, I studied from the moment of conception until the age of 6.
Mm-hmm.
Loved it very much. I was going to teach like science to deaf students. Sign language was my second language, so I was going to do that. The reason I transferred is Arizona didn't have my major. I no longer wanted to do communications because why would I want to do that? I'm not going to go to the Olympics anymore. No one's going to care. So I went to Colorado State. One of the first days I'm there for orientation, and the coach is like, Amy, I didn't know you were swimming for me. And I'm like, because I'm not. And he goes, well, tell you what, how about you swim for me for a year? You swim for me. I'll pay for your year. If you don't like it after a semester, you can quit and I'll pay for the rest of your year. But if you like it, you promise me you continue swimming. That first semester, I broke my first American record. So I was having fun.
And was that the coach?
Yeah, it was all the coach. It was the swimmers. It was just a change of venue. Not saying that Arizona was bad. It was just not right for me. So when I went to Colorado State, it was more of a relaxed, not everyone's worried about winning gold medals. It's just, to make it to the conference meet. And I loved that. And I thrived in that. And that year, actually, Colorado State got 12th at NCAA's. Wow. It's the first time they've scored. And I was so proud of them. They did a great job.
Because they had Van Dyken.
No,
yeah.
They had other people as well. They had other people. But it was fun because I think that they started seeing what happens when you do qualify for NCAA's. Right. So they were like, oh my gosh, well, I should do that for me too. And so it pushed them. And I thought it was great. We had such a good team. It was fun.
So you may have already answered this then, based on leaving Arizona. Comms wasn't for you, but you did end up swimming again. And then you end up going into media. So was that path planned, I guess, is the question I think I know the answer to, or did that just evolve while you were swimming? When did you start thinking about the media side of things?
It evolved after the swimming. So my husband played for the Denver Broncos for 10 years. And one of his teammates, Ed McCaffrey, he had said, hey, they're doing celebrity
His son's
sports.
on the Niners.
I mean, he may have a son that I used to yell at all the time. Christian McCaffrey, sit down.
His son's kind of good.
I mean, he's fine. He's fine. I just remember him as a little pipsqueak. He was so cute, and he still is. I'm so proud of him.
And very quickly, this brings me to Celeste. So Celeste and I go back to 2001 at Fox Sports. I remember cutting video, Celeste, of McCaffrey breaking his shin. Like in midair, he gets hit, and it just starts hanging like this. So I've never forgotten that player. Anyway, sidebar.
You want to know the worst part about that? That night, they were playing in Denver, the Giants, and it was the 10th of September, 2001.
The night before.
Wow.
Yeah. So I had been I was there. I started with Celeste on September 4th, 2001. And 1 week later, obviously everybody's world changed, but our world at Fox Sports really changed. But I cut that video that night that he had the injury.
So, it was so gross. Bless your heart.
Really gross. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Never left my brain, like imprinted. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's
so
bad.
okay. So sorry. Sidebar. That name always makes me think of
it's okay.
Celeste.
I'm ADHD unmedicated, so I flow with you, girl. We're fine. We're fine. So Eddie Mack, he tells Tom, he goes, Amy should do this. They're doing like a celebrity sports casting thing. So like, anybody in the area in Colorado, if they want to do a sportscaster gig for a day, she should do it. It'd be fun. I did. And I got hired on the spot to do the 2002 Olympics for them. I auditioned to be their sportscaster. I was like, no, stop. This is not where I was going with my life. Then it just started snowballing. And I was now in the media, and it was perfect and lovely. And I loved every moment. I still do. I love every moment of it.
There's nothing you don't enjoy.
Well, that's the question. What do you not enjoy about working in the media? We like to give our audience a full transparency because everybody thinks it's so great, and for the most part it is, but there's some stuff that isn't.
There's a lot of stuff that isn't. I'm going to say, because hot mic, I'm going to say the one thing that drives me nuts is when I'm trying to tell a really good story, some producer or director is in my ear. Amy, don't forget to mention the 1925, 35, 69, 29, 32 summer of the third. And I'm like, ah! Like you can literally see me like doing like convulsing. It's like, stop. Try to give times and you're
so true. So true.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I will discuss.
Sometimes when I was doing post-game interviews with the Giants, and I'm profile, right? Because the camera's here, I've got the player here, and my producer would be like, and this, and this, and this, and then you're gonna need to do this, and this, and this, and I would just do this. I know, and I don't need that much. Like, keep it short because I'm trying to hear what he's saying, But I just, okay, yeah.
Good for you. You know, it was funny. I was interviewing Matt Hasselbeck after a game when my husband was playing for the Seahawks.
Yep.
So I'm interviewing, and he's answering a question as you're talking, said everything. So I can't hear Maddie talk. And I, go back to ask the next question. Anyway, we go to dinner, and he goes, "You weren't paying attention to me at all, were you?" I go, "What makes you think that?" He goes, "Did you hear my answer?" I said, "Well, absolutely." He goes, "You didn't react to it." I'm like, "What?" He said the entire key of the game, my husband was a punter. The entire key to the game was Tom Ruin and his punting ability. And if he were not the punter on the team, they would not have beat the Chiefs.
And you're like, so anyway.
And I go, whatever. Let's go. Anyway, back to you guys.
Yeah. Oh, did you mention my husband? Oh,
no. Okay. That he was the key to the whole game.
No, he doesn't understand. That's just how you react. You got it. I know.
Correct.
He's my husband.
I was like, duh. Tell me something I don't know, Maddie.
Right?
Come on.
Okay, let's discuss your current role.
Yeah.
Motivational speaking, radio, TV personality. What's a typical day like?
So today, doing social media posts, doing a podcast with you lovely ladies. I'm going to end up unpacking from Paris, doing laundry, repacking for a trip that I'm going on tomorrow. And then, since it is an Olympic year, I am doing a lot more speaking. Also, I will be in Connecticut, Paris. You guys know how that is, right? Connecticut, Paris.
Yeah.
Calling the prelims of the Summer Olympics again, which will be great. I'll probably be at Olympic trials, also doing that. Recently, I worked for the ACC network. I worked for the Pac-12 network, calling their swim meets since it all started and it just ended. So that was sad. But yeah, I don't know. Typical day. I wake up, I have coffee, I watch YouTube.
Do you watch Girl, How'd You Get That Gig on YouTube?
I mean, of course I do. Who doesn't?
Obviously, everybody's doing it. Okay, a little change in tone here. You did mention your wheelchair, and I'm hoping that we can kind of go over that and what happened to you and that day that changed your life, if you would share that story.
Sure. So it was a normal day. We were getting ready to leave Arizona to go to Colorado because it was going to be my husband's birthday. And that night, I'd gone to CrossFit, and I met the guy that owned the CrossFit box, who happened to be a firefighter, and his name was DJ, and he was lovely. And he was like, "We have the firefighter games, you should come." And I was like, "Absolutely, we will be there." And went home. It was time for dinner. I'd been living in LA, doing Fox Sports Radio at night. And I was like, "Listen, I just want to feel the nice air on my face. Like, take your motorcycle, I'll take my ATV, we'll be fine." So we sat down, we had dinner. And I had a great dinner, trout and steamed broccoli. It was lovely. And I don't know what happened after that. My memory's gone. Thank goodness. So what was put together? My husband was messing around with his motorcycle, which he normally didn't do. He would have normally taken off in front of me. And had he done that, I wouldn't be here because he wouldn't have found me. Mm-hmm. He looked up, he was like, "Babe, go ahead. You take off ahead of me." And I guess I took off, and there was no scream or screech or flicker of a brake light. I just hit a curb, went over a 6-foot cliff in the air. I hit a tree and went down. I broke a lot of my body. The one that was really bad was my T1011 was like this. And this part was take a hair on your head, cut it in half. That's how far it was from my aorta. He got me breathing again. I ended up having my first responders be there. One of them, his name was DJ, who was a firefighter who owned a CrossFit box. It was really weird. Went to trauma, was supposed to have surgery at like noon the next day, and they had to push it up because I exploded the sac that goes around your spinal fluid, like holds your spinal cord. So I was leaking spinal fluid like crazy. And plus they had to get me into surgery. Like this was emergent. And so I should have actually been fused from top to bottom, but they just fused the minimal one just to get me through it. And yeah, so here I am now, a T11 paraplegic. I am rocking and rolling. I snow ski, I water ski, I rock climbed, I played lacrosse till I got thrown off the team because I like hitting people. I went,
we are so connected.
Right?
Oh my God, Celeste, where has she been my whole life?
I know.
I like
I,
hitting people too.
I love hitting. It's so good. And when you don't feel your legs and you just end up on the floor, you're like, oh, that was fun. But I also, funny, in fact, I went skydiving with SEAL Team 6 2 summers ago. You know, the same SEAL team. These were the same men that got Osama. So I thought, this will be safe. Fractured my femur. It twisted. And then when I landed, the head of it exploded into like 8 pieces.
Oh my gosh.
So I'd have
But you couldn't feel it.
No, and that's the problem, Amy. I couldn't feel it. My husband knew something was wrong because we all went back to our condo, went to the pool. I didn't want a margarita. He was like,
What's wrong with you?
"You okay?" Leg kept swelling. He goes, "We're going to put you." Anyway, long story longer, went to have coffee the next day with him. And he looks at me, he goes, "You don't look good." I almost passed out. They did surgery. I had 2.5 units of blood in my leg. So after that moment, we had the discussion of, Amy, you have to slow down now, honey, please. So we've slowed down a little bit.
I mean, I'm not even sure how to phrase this. Your demeanor and energy is so contagious. It's so positive. And you've had some ridiculously tragic things happen. You mentioned losing your brother, this accident, and you're like physically, at your peak. And this takes away a lot of your mobility.
Mhm.
Were you always approaching life like you are, or did you struggle with this?
I think I did, but I don't think that I let myself be myself, if that makes sense, for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
I think even when I do Celeste, it was a little bit like I was kind of coming into my own, but not really there. But I do think the accident really helped that. I think because it bopped my noodle, and so I don't really have a filter anymore. It fell out, and I haven't, gotten one yet. They don't have them on Amazon. So I just say it how it is. I am just who I am, and if I'm having a great day, I'm going to let you know. But what I've also decided, ladies, is that because of my accident, I don't know what's around the corner. And I don't know if it's going to be it. For any of us, right? And I don't want on my tombstone, here lies Amy. She was a really good swimmer and a huge dick, right? So whenever I'm having those awful bad days, I take it and like roll it in a ball, right? And I look at it from every angle. Why did it make me mad? Why did it make me sad? Why did it make me do all the things? And then I put it in my pocket because it's going to happen again, but now I know how to deal with it because it's there, right? So that's how I live my life. And I just feel like I'm not supposed to be here, you guys. Like I died so many times in that accident and I got sent back from either there or both. We got to get it together. But I think that I have a different perspective on life. It is really way too short to not live it for yourself. And I think a lot of times, and especially as women, we tend to live for our kids, our husband, our whatever, our job. We tend to do that. And I think that I have just realized that I am going to enjoy, I don't have kids, I'm allergic. I'm going to enjoy my husband. I'm going to enjoy my dog.
Put it on the list of what you're allergic to.
I know, but he's okay. We're okay now. I take allergy pills.
There you go. Oh, and you know what I think is so fascinating too, Celeste, about this is so much of your accomplishments for the people watching you identified you, and you made it very clear that that wasn't all of who you are. You are an accomplished Olympic athlete and you're a go-getter. I mean, the things that you've overcome, and that's just to me the best message people can get is like, enjoy who you are at that time, but you're so much more. And you've proven that. It's God. Yeah.
You really are. And I think you said it right. You are more than your tragedies. Use them
more than your tragedies, and you're more than your accomplishments. Like, like people tend to like zero in on, oh, wow, you were this. No, I'm still that. And I'm a whole lot more.
Thank you. I always tell people, and I think I told Celeste this when we were working together in London, if 6 pieces of gold changed me that much, then I was not who I thought I was. And yes, we all have those moments where we are trying to find ourselves, and it's fine. Do it, right? But like, life is such a freaking kick in the pants. So you burn the Thanksgiving turkey and you have to order out a pizza. It's a great story for the years to come. Yeah, okay, you're mad because you had to wake up at whatever time in the morning to get it going, but it's actually kind of funny, So like, that's just kind of how I've decided to live life. Yes, I get mad and I get angry and I get cranky, ask my husband, but we try to minimalize it.
You're human.
Well, Amy, I remember, and I don't know if I've ever shared this with you, but when we were at the Olympics and we're about the same height, right? Footers, 6-footers. And you were like, Celeste, why don't you ever rock the heels? Because you would come in with these 4-inch stilettos. And I'm just like, wow, this woman is amazing. And you said, Celeste, do you like high heels? And I said, yes. And you said, well, why don't you ever wear them? And I said, I don't like to be so tall. And you're like, own it, girl. And in that moment, you made me feel like I could be myself, right? And it was just that one thing you said that just made a difference in my life. And then, fast forward when your accident happened, when I found out, like, I bawled my head off and I was so sad. And then I saw you emerge from it all. And I just thought, if there was one person that people that were in wheelchairs could relate with and talk to, it was you, because you have the strength and almost the endurance to be able to talk to people in a real way, right? And I just thought, wow, like the things that you're doing now are so inspiring. Like your goals were very inspiring, but when I watch you now, I'm like, yes, girl, yes, say this, say that. Like I'm with you. So I just think everyone who gets to hear you with your motivational speaking or gets to meet you or be a part of your life is really, truly blessed.
Celeste, you're amazing. Thank you so much. That means a lot. And I did always wonder why you never rock the heels, girl. Because, to be able to see you. Yes.
There she is. Yeah, you're just a gift.
Oh.
You're just a gift. And
You guys
so it's like so much perspective that everyone needs a little bit of Amy Van Dyken in their lives. That's for sure.
Amy, thank you.
I'm gonna go put my heels on. I'm only 5'10", but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Yes.
So going into motivational speaking, why? And how do audiences react to your stories?
Ooh, why? Great question. I think it started out as being something that was cathartic for me. The more I talked about it, the more it seemed like just a story that I was telling everybody. So it helped me get through it. The reason I do it now is because I figure we all have crap that's going on in our lives, especially now. I mean, the economy is crazy. People can't buy milk. Like we have to make a decision, are we going to have our car or our phone or a meal it's just hard. So I do it. So if I can get one person to walk away from there and be like, oh my gosh, things are not that bad. And I am going to rock this out. If I have one person, then I've done it. I love doing it. I love meeting the people I meet. I love it when the crowd reacts how I want them to now. How is that, right? You asked that. And every crowd is different. I was just in Paris, Cannes, France. I heard George Clooney was looking for me. I had to go.
Sorry, George.
Wish he'd stop calling. Anyway, so I was there. I wish. So I was there and they were silent. But they came up to me and people were like, and these are the reactions I want. I hate you because I was crying and then you made me start laughing at the same time. And that's the reaction I want. I don't care if you applaud. I don't care if you stand up. I don't care if you laugh during it. But if I can get you to cry and laugh and at the same time is even better, I'm done.
That's great.
Yeah.
Run the gamut of emotions.
You do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like to let people get to know me so that when they hear the stuff that I'm about to tell them, they are more invested in it. They know me as a human. And so they know when I tell them that I did this stuff and now here I am, that they can look at that and go, okay, wait a minute, if she can be that happy and that happened to her, and I am all upset because I did not make my raise. Wait a minute, let's get perspective. But I love doing what I do. It's so much fun.
That's so true.
Okay. What are your thoughts on viewership, sponsorship, everything that's happening with the women's sports movement? How do you feel like we've grown? Where do we need to go?
Oh, Celeste, you just opened up a can of worms right there.
She's gonna tell you because her filter fell out.
It did fall out, and I'm kind of wondering where the filter goes with this, because this is, this is the topic right now. And where do women's sports go? And I'm worried about them. I truly am worried about them. Because if you read how Title IX was just backtracked, we now don't have bathrooms. We now don't have locker rooms. We don't have a safe space, and any man can participate in any women's sport at any given time. So I think women's sports, I'm really concerned, and it bothers me because I have got, all these nieces that are coming up. I've got them all on my arm. They're coming up and they're all great athletes, and I just worry. So what we have to do as women is we all have to stick together, and we have to just, do what we do. We are women. We have done it before. We're going to rock it out again. And let's just change the world,
What's interesting too, when you bring up Title IX, is what I'm finding teaching at Sonoma State, and Title IX had its 50th anniversary 2 years ago, was how many students had never heard of Title IX. And so, one, there's an educational aspect that needs to be re-implemented, that people know what this is, and it happened to help bring equality, not just to sports, but to education. It's an education. And now you do have a trans movement, and you have a lot of different, moving parts. And so can we implement a trans division? And then what does that infrastructure look like? And is somebody going to sponsor it? And it creates this, but it's a discussion that needs to be had. And unfortunately, it's like politics today. You're either here or here. And if you're not over here, I'm not going to talk to you. And where is right here?
I'm right there, babe. I'm right there. I'm right there.
I just don't understand why we can't have a mature conversation about it. Because everything you said, it's not a lie, right? But yet you say too much publicly. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. And it gets very tiring and very exhausting. But the biggest thing to me is does this generation even know what Title IX is and what women fought for? Because my mom couldn't play sports.
Right.
So
Right.
Anyway, yeah, but all fair and good to talk about, I think.
I want differences. I love it. I welcome it. I think it's beautiful. So I agree. We should be more.
Yeah, just talk about it. Let's, implement some problem solving, because that's what happens. The world changes, and then you gotta adjust.
That's right. That's right. And you'll learn something from someone that you didn't know. And I think that's so cool, and I always love that about conversations
Yeah. So. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But the final one, Celeste?
Yeah. Well, we always talk about your best piece of advice that you have in life or sports for our audience.
Ooh, best piece of advice. See, now you're putting me on the spot. You're like, motivational speaker, go now, dance monkey. My best piece of advice, my thing is, we always look at everything as getting from point A to point B as fast as you can, right? But if you look at your life, point A to point B, you don't want to get there as fast as you can. It's the journey in between that makes it beautiful. So to enjoy every moment of it, happy, sad, either or, indifferent, enjoy it, because it is your life. It's the one you were given, and it's the one that you have made, and it is beautiful.
So true.
Can't say it any better than that.
Cry and laugh.
Yes.
Cry.
Thanks, Amy.
Yo. Oh my gosh.
You guys are amazing.
Love her. Just another person we're gonna go visit.
Yes.
Wait.
We invite ourselves to everywhere.
Yeah, we invite ourselves.
Yes. So let me tell you, from June until October, we're in Colorado, and then we're in Arizona. So plan accordingly.
Great. We'll come see you in both places.
Oh my God, you guys, seriously. Seriously. You guys are awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you for asking me to do this.
Thank you so much.
So much fun.
You've been listening to Girl, How'd You Get That Gig with hosts Amy G and Celeste Gehring. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on YouTube and follow us on Instagram. The handle is @GirlGigPodcast. Followers and subscribers are automatically entered to win our giveaway prizes, announced every other Wednesday on our Instagram page. Until our next episode, go get that gig.